Hey everyone, so today I'm going to make a quick video on sessions, and we're just going to cover this really quickly, just the basics. And simply put, sessions are just a simple way to store data, okay, for individuals. And that data is stored in a unique session ID that's generated when you start a new session. Okay, and PHP does all that in the background. And this is basically used to persist state information between page requests so that you can have a variable that's like a global variable that you can use between all of your pages. And a lot of times this is used for authentication. It can also be used for when you're doing form submissions and you want to remember text input values and that kind of thing. So anytime you want to persist data across page refreshes, sessions is a pretty good way to go. Okay, and the way you use sessions, very simple. Let's start here with our opening PHP, and we're going to do a closing PHP tag. And the way you start a new session is basically just session underscore start and open close parentheses and a semicolon. That is a method that exists within PHP that you can just, you call it, and it tells PHP, hey, we're going to start a new session now, okay? And so now that we've started our new session, we can actually create a session variable. And to do that, it's as simple as starting with a $sign and an underscore, the word session, open bracket, a quote, single quote, double quote, doesn't matter, either one. And then we pick a variable name. So let's do color. And then we just do an equal sign, so we're assigning a value to that variable. And this is going to be a string value, so we're going to just put that in quotes, and we're going to call it blue. So that's a session variable now. Color is now a session variable, and it's going to equal blue. And any other PHP page that you have when you start with session start, any other PHP page, you could make another one called hello-world.php, hello.php, whatever you want to call it. As long as you start the PHP file with session start, that'll initiate the session. You can then get the value of this variable, and it'll return the value blue. And you know, how do you get a value from a variable? Just like any other variable. So, you know, this is a variable. This right here equals blue. This is the same as this, except for this variable will only work in this PHP file. You will not be able to retrieve this value, this variable, in any other file. This, however, this variable, you'll be able to retrieve that in any other PHP file you create. Okay? And like I said before, this is good for authentication because you could store your username in here after you've verified your username and password against the database. And then you can always have like an authentication check page where you can verify that the username variable is equal to something that is the username. And then basically come back with, okay, yeah, this username equals something, so we're good, we're logged in. That's a very basic way to do it. There are a couple of other things you should probably do for security purposes to create a functional, secure authentication check to just to do this with. So this is not me going into authentication. This is just me explaining how session variables work. The other thing you need to know about session variables is that once you've created a session variable, the only way that you can actually destroy that session variable is to set it equal to nothing. And you can do that by using the unset method, and then just calling that session variable. So session username quote semicolon. This will make the username equal nothing. So you would want that on like a logout.php page, and then maybe after that you can do like a redirect back to the home page to let the user know that they've actually logged out. Okay, so this should conclude the basics about sessions. If you've got any other questions, just feel free to let me know, and otherwise,